Doom the Dark Ages has reportedly sold less than 1 million copies. Now, Doom the Dark Ages has been a bit of a contentious topic for me because I actually loved New Doom. I like 2016 and Eternal. I'm an apologist, I will say it. The original Doom, that was before my time on PC gaming. But the Doom Dark Ages was just not for me. And yet, people were touting as a success. They were waving this, 3 million player count. Wow, that's so impressive. And meanwhile, I was sitting there looking at the Steam player counts. Okay, this peaked at about 30K. Eternal peaked at over 100K. So it probably sold 1/3 the copies Eternal sold, right? Oh no, 3 million people playing it. It's a huge success. Well, it turns out 2.2 out of 3 million of those players didn't actually buy the game. They just played it on GamePass. So the actual sales for Doom the Dark Ages is about 800,000. Compare that to Eternal, which sold over 3 million. Not 3 million players like Doom the Dark Ages, 3 million copies sold. You got to understand the difference, because there is a big difference between someone playing the game on Game Pass and someone buying the game for full price. So I feel justified in the fact that I didn't buy the game. It wasn't for me. I made a video on this. People didn't like the video. I don't care. I think a lot of people still agree with my sentiment in general that this game was just not for new Doom fans. They tried something different. It didn't work out. I kind of want to see what else this article has to say. Another analytics firm reports slightly different sales distribution, nothing. Noting that out of the announced 3 million players, 500K experienced the game on PS5, while 2 million played on Xbox, both through sold and Game Pass. And yeah, out of those like over 2 million players on Xbox, only about 200,000 of them actually bought the game. So take that with a massive grain of salt. No matter what you believe, their findings, combined with the observed reality of Doom the Dark Ages' poor performance on Steam and the general sentiment around the game being less positive than Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, make it evident that the game and its $70 price tag failed to excite many players. There it is. This once again calls into question the issue of video game pricing. I mean, it is an issue of pricing, but it's more of an issue of giving fans what they want. Like Doom the Dark Ages, I mean, you look at the gameplay of Doom the Dark Ages, and you look at the gameplay of Doom Eternal, or even 2016, and it's night and day. Like, one, you're parrying big, glowing, green, telegraphed pillars of energy that are slowly floating at you, waiting to be parried. And the other, you're dashing around, just dodging, like, enemy gunfire and doing glory kills and shit. Like, the gameplay is drastically different. So it kind of targets completely different audiences. And they reported that themselves. They admitted that themselves. The creative, I can't remember his name, but basically the head of the development team for Dark Ages admitted that, hey, we wanted to go a different direction. We wanted to change things up from Eternal because people had some complaints with Eternal. So they just completely did a 180 in game design, and it shows. And it's a shame because I like I said, I love New Doom, but Doom the Dark Ages was just not for me. And now we have the real sales number, and yeah, it's not looking good. They would have sold at least twice as much on Steam if ray tracing wasn't required. Yeah, this is another complaint I saw. The performance for Dark Ages is just dog shit. Even though Eternal in 2016, amazing. Super well optimized. I was playing them on a 1080 Ti, pretty old GPU at this point, and getting like 144 FPS steady, over 200 FPS at some points, I believe, but like really good FPS for a kind of action-based, high, a high-paced first-person shooter game like that, where you're spinning around a lot. That could really fuck with a lot of systems, but extremely good performance, very well optimized. But then the Dark Ages, horrible optimization. You have to get a new PC basically if you even want to play the goddamn game. So yeah, there's a lot of truth in this, because PC players are very picky about the performance of their video games, because a lot of companies are just lazy as fuck, and they're like, oh, it gets 20 FPS, it's good enough. It gets 20 FPS on the latest $3,000 builds. No, it's not good enough. If it was $60, I bet you would have seen more sales. Maybe a little bit more. It wouldn't have helped it much, I can tell you that. I think what actually may have helped this game is if instead of being a full release, it would have just been like a addition to Eternal or an add-on to Eternal or an offshoot for like $40 and make it like a 5-hour experience instead of like a 12-hour experience or whatever it is. I think it could have maybe seen more success that way. Also, it wouldn't have been such a massive hit on their budget if they would have just made it a DLC to Eternal, but I digress. They shot themselves in the foot. But yeah, again, I feel a little justified seeing these numbers, knowing that Doom the Dark Ages really just was not nearly as well received as Eternal was by the fans. But again, it's a shame. Like, it's not like I'm really happy about this, because again, I love New Doom and I wanted to play the Dark Ages before I saw what it actually was. So yeah, it's kind of a shame. But it is what it is. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. I'm a new channel. Subscriptions do go a long way. And thanks for watching. Peace.